field operations together. Let's start from there. I have to go back. I don't see the red already. You need to group crops with similar field operations together. What do I mean? You want to plant maize, sorghum, and millet. You need the same plowing, harrowing, and planting requirements because they are the same family. So you will not put something that doesn't need plowing. Maybe something that the land preparation that it needs is different from that. You won't put it in their midst. It just makes common sense. Cassava and yam, similar reading and weeding schedule. Vegetables, similar irrigation and fertilizer needs. You group those ones together. Now, you want to arrange your plots in a way that it will reduce movement of labor and machine. Every machinery zones, this is what I mean. Somebody has been given all this land from the roof down inside. Some of the land towards the back is waterlogged, and he wants to bring tractor. And the waterlogged area, tractor cannot access it. And he wants to make his farm layout. Do you think he should put a crop that needs a particular type of preparation of machinery closer to the road or far inside the bush? It should be closer to the road, where it will be easy for machinery to access. If he puts the one that needs machinery to access, he puts it behind, and it's waterlogged. There's waterlogged in the middle that they cannot reach the place. What do you think will happen? It's going to be a problem. So those are factors to consider. Another thing we need to consider is you need to have a crop rotation plan. All of us that did basic agriculture, you know what crop rotation means. You don't keep planting the same type of crops over and over on a particular piece of land. And do you remember why? Why is it not advisable to keep planting? I planted pepper last year. I want to repeat pepper this year. I want to repeat pepper. No break. Why do we need to change it? Because of disease. You know, some of those, let me explain. You know, some of those plants, the first year, it might have a disease that is in its stalk. That's stalk to be fruits in. Or manage that for fruits here. To repair possibly disease or pathogen here would see complete life cycle. Would see the stage to the detrimental to the produce that you want to get. Now, but here and low, some stock a lower, et to prepare, et to what to incorporate a padasino ye paying. Ni a leg, if you don't take it, feed that same thing. There is a possibility if it's ice on here, to whatever stage, yes, stage man, to get stage 2, let's harvest last time. But you are better, or stage 3, not even, to routine class. So, okay, to Shetan, the optimum state to get paid in the you understand what you want. Angle is this. What about the angle of nutrients? Thank you. There's something we call nitrogen fixation. Do you still remember? What type of crops fixes nitrogen for us? Leguminous plants. So if there are some that they deplete the nitrogen, they feed more nitrogen. Example of a plant that does that. Give me one example now. I think maize woman fa. Toba fa te don fi lodun keji o don fa. Te ba fe lo lodun kẹta kí ló pé ká fi sí ẹgbà legume sí kí legume fix ẹ sílẹ̀ fún. Kí legume tún fix ẹ sílẹ̀ fún lẹ́yìn yẹn ká tún gbé maize sí. So that is the àwọn kan wà tó jẹ́ pé they are surface feeders. Àwọn kan wà tó jẹ́ pé they feed from underneath. So you need to rotate so that it will not just give us a problem. There is no land that you can say ilẹ̀ bad bàjẹ́. So for this títí ló yẹ ká lágbàbẹ̀ kò lè wúlò fún kankan. Tàbá kó mọ̀ sí tá a miss yẹ tá a mẹ́ǹdì yẹ eventually yóò fún wa ní kankan. So that is it. I think that's about that. Now, what are the advantages and disadvantages of mapping out operations based on soil and land character? The advantages: it gives us higher crop yield, best place for each one, so our crop yield will be higher. Each crop is grown on soil that suits its requirements, leading to better growth. It helps us to efficiently use our resources. Our fertilizers, our herbicides, and water, they are applied where they are needed most. So it helps us to avoid waste. Look at that example I gave the other time of somebody planting everything together. And those things you plant, they have different fertilizer requirements. How do you now apply fertilizer? Should you understand why we don't lump them together? It's better we group them. It will help us to use our resources effectively. Even in irrigation, some don't need as much water as another one. Okay, to go one back up. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Just 2 seconds. Everybody should just stand up.
Okay, please stand up and sit down back. So they get me don't sorrow. So they get me don't sorrow. That some of us are actually snoring. You are not only sleeping, you are snoring. So it's good the way we. Alright, you can sit down back. What I'm trying to do is, I want to, you can see, I'm striving to try to cover. So now we have talked about efficient use of fertilizers, then it's going to reduce the cost of our production. When you allocate, hello, please, one house please. When we allocate our land properly, it means we are going to use less fuel for machines, it's going to reduce the labor demand, it's going to minimize crop failure. Those are the advantages that we have. And it's going to also prevent soil degradation. When you match crops to land, it prevents erosion, it prevents waterlogging stress, and so the advantages are numerous. We have feed the right thing, see the right place. When you buy blankets, it's a demand of ṣe mo pé a máa ní kíní kan máa ń ṣẹlẹ̀ sí àgbẹ̀ tí ilẹ̀ ò bá pọ̀ a ní ẹwọ́ ìjọ ohun ìgbò. Don't put it together. It's like somebody that has a hip. Ó kọ ẹgbẹ́ ẹyọ kan, ó ti ẹ̀gẹ́ bọ́ sáìdì, ó fi ànàmọ́ sí sáìdì, ó fi kókò sí sáìdì, ó wá fata sí lórí, ó wá tún wá space tó túkù, ó tún wá fún ẹgbẹ́ ìlú sí. Ǹjẹ́ mọ̀ nǹkan tó máa ṣẹlẹ̀? Ó ṣeé ṣe kó rí nǹkan mú bẹ̀. Ṣùgbọ́n ṣe rí ẹni tó jẹ́ wípé òun wò pé lórí oko mi, ebè mẹ́wàá ẹ̀ ni mo fẹ́ fi ẹ̀gẹ́ sí. Mẹ́wàá tó tẹ̀lé ni mo fẹ́ fi ànàmọ́ sí. Èyí tó tẹ̀lé ni mo fẹ́ fi ata sí. Tí àwọn méjèèjì bá compare èrè wọn, àwọn tí wọ́n fi tí wọ́n tó yẹ pé nínú ibi tó ń fi sí yẹn wọ́n dá sí, ó ṣeé ṣe kí wọ́n ní èrè tó dáa ju ẹni tó lùgbẹ̀ lọ. Ṣé mọ̀ nǹkan tí yẹn túmọ̀ sí? Àwa àwọn tí wọ́n jọ gba bákan náà, a ní pléètì oúnjẹ yín rèé o, ẹ gbà lẹ́yọ kọ̀ọ̀kan, ẹ máa jẹ ebè kọ̀ọ̀kan yẹn túmọ̀ sí pléètì oúnjẹ èèyàn kọ̀ọ̀kan, àti wípé agbé pléètì yẹn fún wọn àwa ní lágbájá tàmẹ̀lì gbogbo yẹn tọwọ́ bọnú pléètì ẹ máa eléyìí ní díẹ̀ nìkan lówó rí eléyìí yóò mú kéde kò ní rọ́bẹ̀ nínú ọbẹ̀ nìkan lówó rí. So at the end of the day you will discover that ó máa wà disjointed. So even if the land we have is not much, we can still lay it out in a way that we will still be able to get something from it. Effective crop rotation, soil conservation, kí wá ní demerits ẹ̀? It requires technical knowledge. You know, we mentioned soil testing, land surveying, mapping. It may be difficult for a farmer that is untrained. Take for instance, do you know the meter, what is the dimension of an acre? Yes. 4,000 meters square, that's the thing. When we are talking about an hectare, we are talking about 10,000 meters square. You are saying that because you have some agronomic background. Àwọn bàbá tí wọ́n wà lóko tó jẹ́ tó ń gbà tó fẹ́ ra lẹ̀, wọ́n mú òkúta wọ́n ṣọwọ́ báyìí ló sọ wọ́n tó níbi tó kúta yẹn ti láàrin rẹ̀ yẹn lọ múlẹ̀ táwọn ló fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ 10,000 meters square fún. but ìwọ tó mọ̀ pé mo ní 4,000 meters square ó dẹ̀ wò pé okay kí ni crops tí mo fẹ́ gbìn báwo ni mo ṣe fẹ́ gbìn okay I want to use out of that 4,000 I have I want to use 1,000 for maize I want to use the next 1,000 for so and so. Easily you can map out the land, map the dimension and divide it into 4. Sure, you understand what I'm trying to say? So it needs a kind of technical expertise. That is the disadvantage. Then another disadvantage is high initial cost. You might be having to hire experts, doing soil analysis, developing maps. You know, I told you of the sketch of the layout. When we are not talking about, say they should give you, what do they call it, building plan. You know that plan. You know that you can't do it by yourself, even though you have the idea that my veranda to be. I know, but there's somebody that is his own job. So it may give you some cost initially. Sometimes it may be time consuming. Mapping out may take weeks before planting can begin. Because you know it will consider a lot of things. It goes beyond the example of the layout that I gave. They will consider what is the topography, what is the type of stuff, like the garden I was telling you about. If it's not as a result of experience and usage over the years, you will not know, because when you come in dry season, everywhere is dry. But during the rains, there is a particular portion of the land that is waterlogged, and the other side is not waterlogged. So you cannot expose it to the same treatment. It's because somewhere close home. If it's not somewhere close home, you will not even know what the problem is. Because the foliage will look the same, except you try and test the soil. Then another disadvantage is limited flexibility. Once the plots are assigned, changing crop positions may be hard. Machinery restrictions. Tractors cannot operate easily on hilly or highly waterlogged areas, even if crop sweets the soil. So the tractor will give it, crop or give it. So those are issues. On equal land utilization, some fertile areas might become overused while poor soils remain underutilized. So at this point, there's something I don't want us to miss. Yes, there's an important topic there we should not miss, even though we are rushing. There's something we call work rates. How do you calculate man-hour requirement for each operation? How do you calculate man-hour requirements for each operation? What do we mean by man-hour requirements? Let me start by explaining that assuming you want to make ridges, FFCOB, ọ̀nà méjì ni, ó fẹ́ gba òṣìṣẹ́ láti kọ ebè yẹn. Ìwọ fúnra rẹ̀ ó mọ̀ pé tí n bá dé ọkọ́ mú, tí n bá dé oko láago 8 tí mo fẹ́ ṣiṣẹ́ bí aago 12, kí aago 12 tó lù, màá kọ ìgbà 3. That's 600 gives. So, o lè calculate pé iye. I think I need to sit down at this point. Yeah, thank you. O lè calculate pé. Calculate pé láàrin wákàtí 4 yẹn, for those of us that have calculator, ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣí báyìí pé mẹ́kàn pé tí bá dé oko láago 8 tí mo lè fẹ́ wà lóko di aago 12, mo máa kọ ìgbà 4, ẹ jẹ́ ká pè ìgbà 4. Ìgbà 4, ìgbà kan is 200. Ìgbà 4 is 200 times 4, 800. Nǹkan tí yẹn túmọ̀ sí ni wípé ní wákàtí kan mo máa kọ ìgbà kan. So rate iṣẹ́ mi ó túmọ̀ sí wípé 200 gives in 60 minutes. Tí mo bá fẹ́ gba òṣìṣẹ́, tó ṣiṣẹ́ yẹn bá fẹ́ gba iṣẹ́ tó fẹ́ ṣiṣẹ́ ojúmọ́, ó jẹ́ wípé iṣẹ́ ojúmọ́ yẹn à ń ṣe ní wákàtí mẹ́jọ ṣé àwọn pété bá gba àwọn masons that's àwọn bricklayer